Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. Welcome to the podcast and happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. What you drinking?
I am drinking,
Mm.
this is what it is. It's called Bloom Super Belly, and it's gut building hydration powder. It's like a nice color.
Oh,
It's from beetroot. Like the color is pink, but it's from beetroot, right?
okay. I'm having some Josh.
Ah,
So I'm done with my day, and it was like, do I stay at the office and record? And then I was like, nope, I'm going home. I'm gonna have some wine when we get done. Paul's gonna have a steak ready for us for dinner. Felt like one of those kind of days.
I love it.
Mm.
Okay, so you know how I'm doing. I've got this new challenge that I'm taking women through for 90 days, and it's called the Work 90-Day Challenge with me, Sandra Priestley. And so I'm loving this challenge because it's really more so than anything, it's not even about reaching the goal that you set for yourself. It's about the daily reflection. It's about it's not about being perfect, it's about the daily reflection. And I
Yeah.
feel like so often we don't hit our goals for so many reasons, and they're all popping up. In my daily reflection, it's like they're all popping up for either myself or the other women in the group. One of which is I feel like most of us don't reflect fucking daily.
Mhm.
Like we just
We,
don't think, okay, how did today go and what would I do differently tomorrow? We wait until the year's up and then go, shit, I like let myself go this year.
yeah, I just slept through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's one girl, one woman in the group, and she said, I'm so pissed with myself because I didn't go all in for this month. It's like I've wasted 30 days.
Well, then stop it.
Right. I
Don't waste
said,
another 30 days.
no, but this is what's crazy. I said, but you didn't because you showed up every day. You did your mindset work every single day. She said, it's just a habit now. Every day I get up, I pray. I say my 5 affirmations in the mirror. I read my scriptures. Okay, this is already way, way better than what she was doing last year.
Mhm.
Like, so this is not failure. Even if every single day she went, okay, I did nothing yesterday. Now what? I didn't do anything. I feel guilt. I don't feel like I want to say that I did nothing, but where can I adjust? What can I do? How can I shift? Have I taken on too much? Have I taken on too little? Why am I not showing up? What happened? Was I depressed? Was I busy? Was there someone in my space? Like what happened and how can I adjust?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been so fascinating, the things that I'm even learning for myself.
So tell me,
So,
so you started
yeah,
beginning of the year,
yep.
about 2 weeks in, shit hit the fan?
Yes, the biggest dumpster fire of my life ever.
Mm.
Like 2 weeks in, like day 14, probably day 14 to day 17.
Yeah.
It was the biggest what the fuck moment for me,
Mhm.
which I mean, you had said was coming, or
Yeah.
no, you did not prepare me because you said, oh, yeah, on day 14, something will happen. And I'm thinking, oh, perfect. I'm going to win the lottery. Like, yay.
Oh no, it's like
No, it's
it
like the worst.
clarifies to make you focus, hone in on what do I want?
Mhm.
This is not it.
The dumpster fire of my life in all areas happened on the 14th to the 17th.
Mm.
I mean,
So it
whoa.
doesn't have to be a dumpster fire.
Okay, good. But
Like
that
it
is,
doesn't. But I know for me, that first go around,
mhm.
when I had those three things that were troubling me, I don't remember the third thing, but one of them was up at the office, and one of them
Yeah.
had to do with Lily and Eric. And day 14 was about the time that we got the information about what was going on with Eric. Under normal circumstances, would have sent me over the edge, sent me into
Right.
fear. We've got to do this, we've got to do this, and that SOB. And but an interesting thing happened where I just went, huh, I'm gonna have to think about this. And then it was
Mhm.
like, well, if we allow him to get in the car with Eric and something happens to him, we're responsible. Now, perhaps not legally, but morally. We will
Mhm.
never, ever forgive ourselves for not doing something. And so it wasn't this knee jerk reaction. It was just like a very logical, it was weird.
Mhm.
And then stuff kind of hit the fan at work where the docs were wanting to talk to me about a problem that was going on up there. Uncomfortable, but it was like, yeah, I'll be happy to talk to you. That kind of paved the way for things to work out. And within a month, it was all resolved better than I could have imagined. So now we're at the month mark. So where are you at?
Well, what was interesting was when the dumpster fire occurred, I feel like I navigated it a lot better
Yeah,
than I normally would. Why? Because I had the structure of mindset, energy, and action, and I was doing it like every single day, right? So I felt like I could navigate it a little bit better. In while you were talking, I thought, oh yeah, but if all of that had happened to me and I didn't have the first 14 days of this
yeah,
structure, I think I would, and I mean, mindset being one third of them, I feel like I wouldn't have been able to navigate it as well. I could rely on the structure that I had, I feel. So now, 1 month in, I can say that so much has changed. I feel I mean, the dumpster fire is like, I don't even remember what it was. It's kind of like that. Like, it was just like everything sort of shifted in the best way possible. It was absolutely the things that happened were shifts I needed to make. The things that it was like they highlighted the biggest issues that I needed to change, or the I
it's what was
how
holding
do I
you
say this?
back.
Yes, yes. And it's like it highlighted situations that I was kind of pretending weren't there or not looking at. And I needed to shift. So like I shifted in those ways. It's like the door opened up and I walked through that door, and
Yeah,
another door opened up and I walked through that door. And the door was, on fire, but
but you didn't get
it
burned.
was where I needed to go in order to shift. Yeah, I did not get burned. No, it was good.
And I feel like when we really start getting in alignment with those things we want, we can't get to where we want to be until we resolve some of those bullshit beliefs that we have.
Totally.
But no, I think the universe sends us these things to help
Mhm.
us level up. And instead of going, oh, this is something in me that I need to heal, we go, oh my God, and we get in bed and we hide. Let me
Yeah.
just sleep it off. And while that can be beneficial, I mean, Abraham will say, if you're really out of the vortex, go take a nap. But you've got to get up and move in the direction of what you want to, where you want to go.
Well, and I was walking today because I go for a walk every day. That's part of my January, like part of my challenge. And I was walking today and I thought about some of the challengers who are struggling, or, people who actually the girls in the group are doing really well. But um, some of the people who had reached out maybe, or who had joined, like there's 12 women who have joined but haven't joined the group yet. So they signed up for it, but they haven't joined the group yet. And sometimes that happens where it's like you join on a whim and then you kind of panic, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I was really thinking about was how we co-create with the universe.
Hmm.
But we often wait for the universe to go first, but it doesn't work like that. We go first. We
Always.
decide what we want and we take the step first, and the universe will meet us. Co creating isn't just like, let's wait for the universe to do 95% of it
Hmm.
and then I'll fucking show up and reap the rewards. Like, it doesn't work like that. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of times that's what we do. We pause, we wait for a sign, and all, but it's like the sign happened long ago when we decided we wanted
Yeah.
to take on this challenge.
Yeah.
And so I have really felt this entire month that I was just looking at the challenges that came forward for me as growth opportunities.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I feel like when you can sit in a space of reflection without judgment, everything shifts.
Everything. And I will say, I agree about you have to act first,
Mhm.
but the universe does so much of the hard work. All we have to do is keep listening to the little whispers. Go here, do this, call this person, and not so much worry about what's this gonna net me.
Right.
Because when I reflect back over the last 2 years and all these little things that I had the whisper to go do have morphed in to something I couldn't have anticipated at the time. And a lot of those things that I did, I might not have seen a lot of value in, not the value that I'm getting it back out of it. But had I
Right.
not been in all of these little places doing all of these little things, I wouldn't have all of the opportunities that are sitting in front of me now. I mean,
Mhm.
it's mind blowing to look at difference 2 years makes. Not that it wasn't making a difference all along and I wasn't seeing like, wow, this is cool and this is cool. And but now that I'm really sitting back and looking at all of these things lined up, it's because of all the little things I did. But I feel like it was the universe coming in going, okay, mingle over here with these people and get your feet wet over here with this idea. It's fun. And then putting stuff on the universe's list is also fun.
Right. I know you were the one that taught me to do this. I kind of love this too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, well, and I had company come. My really good friend came up on Monday and we talked continually. I mean, she doesn't live near me. So
Yeah.
um, we had like really 3.5 days where we just like talked nonstop. And we talked about so much and so much that we'd learned and just sharing like growth opportunities and things like that and like struggles and how the little things work out for us that just it seems like it's just impossible, but it does work out, you know?
Yeah.
And but one of the things that was so interesting, because I had this conversation with her about how reflection without judgment is the key. And so what one of the things that I noticed, well, there was so much goodness to her visit.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I noticed was just how her being in my space, how I allowed that to shift my habits.
Yeah.
And
Easy to do.
it's so easy to do because I'm not used to having company. She has this schedule that is not like mine. And I was cooking things I wouldn't normally eat. And we had drinks every single night. And I never drink, like
Mm.
very, very rarely. Um, and just how that affected me. And so I was in this group and I was talking about how it was with one of the clients, actually, one of the challenges in the group. And I was talking to her about how I had fallen off my habits. Like I wasn't doing them all consistently because I had someone in my space. And she said, "Oh, that's what I do too. You know, I can't, if we're getting a whole bunch of company all summer, like I might as well, I'm out. Like I can't try to lose weight. I can't try to achieve all these things. Like there's no possible way." And as soon as it came out of my mouth, I knew this, right? And so I said, "But there is a way."
Hmm. Yeah.
And we need to put ourselves first, and we can do it in such a way, like she said, like if someone invites me over for supper and they make this big huge meal and I'm not supposed to eat it, or I'm going to feel gross eating it, I think they went to all this work, so I'm going to just eat it and suffer. I'm like, whoa, no. Like no way in hell would does that have to be our default? And so I
People
said,
pleasing.
people pleasing, exactly.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I really noticed was I was falling off my daily walks, and I didn't need to just not go on my walks because she didn't want to go, or she didn't have the boots and things that we could go for with. But I said, you know how easy it would have been for me to just pre-plan and say to her while she's on her drive, just so that you know, or before she leaves, just so you know, I go for a walk every single day. This is like part of my daily habits, and I don't want to fall off because it's harder to get back on the horse when you step
It
off of
is.
it.
It is. Yeah.
And so, I could have said, if you want, bring your boots and come with me. Otherwise, I'll make sure you've got coffee in the morning. I'll go early in the morning before you get up, and I'll be back, and then we can start our day.
Yeah.
That little preparation is so important. I could just say, like, if someone invited me out for supper, I could say, just so that you know, I'm on this diet to reduce my inflammation. So I will bring a salad for myself. I will bring a meal for myself. Because my diet is kind of like restrictive. It's not really, but it's, not a lot of what maybe other people would eat. And
Sure.
so I can just bring my stuff. Or I can say, yes, I will absolutely go out for supper with you. And I can look at the menu in advance, like choose the restaurant in advance, look at the menu in advance. I don't even have to open up the menu and be tempted by pizza.
Right.
And it's like we program our brain to be in proactive mode, not reactive
Yeah.
and like not thinking, kind
Yeah.
of, right?
Well, and then just to dismiss our goals, and this is common, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, their needs come before my
Mhm.
comfort and health,
Yeah.
even if it's
Right.
just mental health. Like
Yeah.
we need our time. We need
Mhm.
our meditation time or prayer time or whatever that, however you use that time to connect. We need
Mhm.
that. And then we use other people as an excuse
Right.
to not, and that's all it is. But we tell the story like, ah, I can't do this because what am I supposed to do? It's my birthday, or it's Christmas, or it's my neighbor's uncle's cat's funeral. I don't know. There's all
Exactly.
sorts of excuses. Yeah.
And and when we do that, we give power to something outside of ourselves.
Hmm.
Like the biggest shift for me, I think that I recognized years ago was that I still have the power to choose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like still, it doesn't matter what is happening outside of me. I still have the power to choose how I react to it or the choices that I make. Like I don't just fall on choices.
No.
I make them, you know?
Yes.
And so whatever situation we're in, we still get the power to choose.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just,
What are we going to choose?
what are we going to choose? Like, what are we going to choose in a way that helps us move forward?
Mhm.
Similarly to what you're placing in your home. We also had a conversation about this.
Mhm.
She had said to me, "Oh my gosh, I just love your crystals. I love them so much because I have like big, huge crystals all over the place. I would love an amethyst crystal. I would love this. Like, this is so beautiful." And I thought, right, I chose them. But bigger than that, I chose to honor them.
Yeah.
So, like, I have this big, huge crystal on my coffee table, but it's curated. There is not like a whole bunch, there's not a hairbrush and a journal and my dishes and all of these things around this crystal because then I wouldn't notice them.
Mm.
And so it was this like, we get to choose what we bring into our space. We get to choose like so much. And she
Yeah.
said that was her bigger thing was like pleasing other people.
Mm.
Thinking, well, someone gave this to me 92 years ago, and so I'm gonna have to put it, I don't know where, on top of my crystal.
I mean, you're looking at someone that kept a bedazzled tampon and pad for how many years in my closet?
This is true.
A
I
lot. A
I
lot.
know. And also, I don't think you were going to wear it. Like you weren't using it for
No,
emergency, keeping it
no.
for emergency purposes.
Yeah, I thought I was keeping it as a gag gift, and the occasion never arose.
Never, yeah, it
No.
never arrived. Although it would be a really darn good. What are those? What are those parties called? Where it's a white elephant? Is it called white
Oh,
elephant party?
yeah,
Where you like give a gift that you got that you never used?
yeah. That would have
That
been a good
would be,
one.
that would have been a good one. But
Well, now I
no,
have an idea to
now
make
you have.
another one. So I've discovered this guy. He's the mind architect, Peter Crone.
Okay. Never heard of that.
So he's talking to this woman, and she's talking about the lover that left and how he was everything that she wanted, and she loved him so much, and she's never going to find anyone like him, and how devastated she is, and how alone. And you're looking at her going, really? Like, really? But I mean, there's this kindness to her and this sweetness to her, and she's beautiful. And so you see all of who she is, like just showing up. So anyway, Peter's telling her, you're not in love with this man. You are in love with who you were
Oh,
when you were in love with this man.
right.
So you're putting all of your power into him, and he leaves. And so you think, I am nothing. It was all him. It wasn't him. It was you. And you had it all along. But he was the catalyst that made you feel it.
Hmm.
But he was not the reason that you were that in love. You loved who you were, how you showed up in that relationship. Show up that way now.
Right.
And it blew my mind because, first of all, I could sit and listen to this man talk for hours. Just the way he talks, everything is like, yes, like it's just
Um,
constant confirmation of absolutely what he is saying is complete truth. But I thought about that and how we do that in every area. It's not just about the lovers. It's as I'm leaving my employer and I'm not working with these people in a diet capacity anymore. And then my bosses have said they're just shutting that part of the business down. They're going to just let it go. And so I've got all these patients freaking out, going, but we need this product. And it's been a perfect time for me to go, no, you don't. You're using this product as an excuse to show up, take care of your body, and eat right. And you think it's the product instead of recognizing it's the things that you're doing.
Hmm.
Now, is the product bad? No, it's a great product. Does it work? Yeah, but there's a lot of things that work.
Yeah, very
And
true.
and we do that, we get attached to our jobs or to friends. All of a sudden they're removed. And then we're heartbroken and distraught because we think our happiness and the way that we were showing up is dependent on them.
Hmm.
And we're missing like where it's coming from.
I think I was saying this on the podcast before too, but when I left my job, it's a bit of a mind fuck because I had an identity of this woman with national recognition and leadership awards, and who I was really, I had identified as my position in the government.
Mm,
So when you leave that, when you've tied yourself too much to something, whether it's a product or whether it's, when you believe your success is because of something and your identity is wrapped up in this I am part of
yeah,
this. Whoa, when you leave, it becomes this total mind fuck of like, who am I without it?
yeah,
Or who did I credit, who was I that I credited to this thing externally to myself, even though I had it all along? I mean, I can show up as a nationally recognized leader today, this moment, right?
correct,
Fucking because
correct.
I did it. I owned that. I earned that. I
All of
was that
that,
person, and I still, it's
you,
all me.
yeah,
Oh, years ago, it was like I needed the recognition, I needed the title, I needed the label. And it was really, my identity was external to myself.
mm,
And so when it's a shift to take that power back because you've given it to something else outside of
right,
you.
yeah.
Mhm.
But it,
But I wonder how many people don't recognize that that's part of what's required.
you have to.
Yeah.
You have to understand what you did,
Hmm.
how you showed up,
Yeah.
and how you didn't, because you didn't have to do all that, but you
Right.
did, because that's who you are. That's in you. And that gave you an opportunity to showcase it. Say,
Exactly.
look what I can fucking do.
Hmm.
But it wasn't the government.
No.
Just like it's not the lover or the job, it's that magic that's within us. And different things pull it out.
Hmm. Absolutely.
It shows up to spark something so we remember who we are,
Hmm.
not because they're responsible for what we did.
Our minds are fascinating, aren't they? Like, it's just, they're
So,
just fascinating.
mhm,
I
yeah.
love it so much.
And the things that we talk ourselves into that is complete and utter nonsense. That we don't question, just things that that we're taught
Yeah.
that we don't look at and go, okay, is this true? This doesn't feel right in my body. Why is that?
Right.
You know?
I know. I love this. Again, reflection without judgment, reflection without an expectation, like,
Yeah.
and just like sitting it as an observer, like, whoa, that's interesting that I would think that. That's
Mhm.
interesting my brain would go there.
Yeah.
I
I
wonder
wonder
why.
why. We did that in unison.
I know.
Uh, but with that,
Abs.
I think we are out of time. Thank you so much, Sandra. And thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour.